everybody, it's Dr. Joe, and today I'm going to show you passive and active assistive range of motion exercises for the shoulder. So let's get started. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. So we're going to start off with some passive range of motion exercises, and some people might argue that these aren't actually passive range of motion exercises. I would argue that any range of motion exercises, if you are conscious, are a little bit active, but these are going to be the best things that you can get to be passive, because if you're moving in any way, your muscles are going to try and help. But this is a great way to try and get it done passively. So passive range of motion exercises would be if you've had a surgery or if you're having a lot of pain and you really want those muscles to relax, but you want to get the movement. So the first one is going to be pendulums. And pendulums are great because you can kind of use gravity just to hang your shoulder down. So use a chair or a countertop, something sturdy just to lean over on. The shoulder that you want to get the range of motion for, you're just going to hang it straight down. So to really try and get the passive range of motion for this, you want to move your whole body. So it's not me actively moving my arm and my shoulder, it's just letting it hang down and I'm moving my whole body. So I probably am actively moving it just a little bit, but this is going to be the closest thing that you're going to get to that passive range of motion. So you want to do maybe 10 one way and then reverse it and do 10 the other way. So I'm really just, moving my whole body to try and get that passive motion. And then you can also kind of stagger your stance and do a front to back and just do, maybe again 10 or 15. And then you can also swing side to side. So depending on if you've had a surgery and what your precautions are, or if you're just doing this for pain control, you can also add just a little weight. So this is just a soup vegetable can, maybe 1 pound. And so what that does is that allows that joint to kind of open up. So if you've got a lot of tightness and stiffness in that shoulder and you're looking for those range of motion exercises, getting that weight, that light weight, and then still going through those same motions really feels good. This is one of my favorites for the shoulder. When I had my shoulder surgery, this really helped kind of loosen up the whole joint and just really made those muscles nice and relaxed. So another great passive range of motion exercises is using shoulder pulleys. And the folks at RangeMaster Shoulder Therapy sent me their RangeMaster BlueRanger Shoulder Pulley. And so what's really neat about the pulleys is this is another great one where if you really want that as much passive as you can get, it's great. So it has a hook if you want to hook it onto your door, and it's got the pulley system. So maybe you have a hook up on your ceiling, which I do, you can hook it through here. So there's a couple different ways that you can hook it on. So I'm going to hook it on and then show you how to use it. So as you can see, I've got it hooked up right above me. If you're hooking it up into a doorway, then it'll be slightly behind you. You can also adjust right here, which makes it really easy because you can just slide it and then hook it in. So you want it to adjust it where you can pull your arm up as high as you comfortably can. So again, depending on if you just have an injury, just pain, or if you actually had a surgery, make sure that you're following precautions if you've had a surgery. So check with your doctor or physical therapist for what your precautions are. So basically with the pulley, what it allows you to do is bring your injured arm, which is going to be my left side, up with the right side. So it's just hanging on, going up for the right. So I'm pulling down with my right side to bring that left side up. Now, if you have a lot of tightness in your shoulder, you might only be able to come to about right here, and that's fine, and come all the way down. But when you work on it, if you work on it for 30 seconds to a minute, and you're just kind of nicely, smoothly going back and forth like this, a lot of times people can get a little bit higher and get a little stretch and a little stretch, and then take it a little higher. As you can see, my thumbs are facing me. That kind of opens up my shoulder joint. So if I'm doing the flexion motion in front of me this way, I want my thumbs facing me. You don't really want them out like this because if you're already having shoulder pain, that kind of puts that shoulder in a little more of an impinged position. But if you're going out into abduction, so I'd bring my arm out to the side now, you still want your thumb facing you. So this time your hand does turn a little bit. And again, I'm pulling up this way to get that abduction, abduction. So it's It's really nice. It makes it super easy. Again, my arm is just hanging on. If I was actually lifting it, you would see the slack in the pulley, and that's not what you want to see. You want it to be nice and tight, and it's just going up for the ride. So again, it's not going to be completely passive, but that's the closest you're going to get to passive. So you can also do a couple different directions, but those are my two favorites to do with the pulleys. So if you're interested in purchasing the RangeMaster Shoulder Pulley, make sure and click on the link up there. So now we're going to do some table slides. So table slides are going to be active assistive range of motion. So you're activating the muscles now, but you're assisting those muscles with something. This is my imaginary table. It's just a chair, but you can use your table, you can use a countertop. You want something just nice and flat. So if you don't have those, you can use a chair, but just make sure that your knees are comfortable if you're sitting down on the floor. So going back to the thumb position, when you're doing your table slides, you want your thumb to be up in this position. Some people do it this way. It's okay to do it that way, but again, when you turn your arm in, that at the shoulder kind of puts it at an impinged position. So when the thumb's up, it's more of an open position, and I find it more comfortable. So this time, what you're going to do, you can use a towel or something to help the slide if you're having a little bit of trouble just sliding your hand. You're just going to go for flexion forward, just sliding forward again as far as you comfortably can. So you can see I'm getting that stretch in that shoulder, and though I'm actively moving it, the chair, the table, or the countertop is assisting my arm. So I'm not having to hold it up against gravity. So I'm getting that motion, but it's not usually as painful if I was just trying to lift my arm up on my own. So again, you can just do maybe 10 or 15 back and forth, or you can do a little pause at the end. Some people like maybe a 3 to 5 second stretch just to kind of get that stretch in there. You can also change the angles a little bit. So if you wanted to go at an angle this way, I'll show you this way. Like if you wanted to go kind of at an angle, we call that scaption, which is like maybe a little bit wider out, 45 degrees. Or you can then even turn sideways to get that abduction, again, the AB, but the thumb is still in that upward position, and I'm sliding out this way and coming back up. So you can do it in a couple different directions that way as well. So it makes it really nice. So then the next ones are going to be using a PVC pipe or a stick or a broomstick to do some active assistive range of motion. And if you're doing it correctly, you can possibly get passive range of motion. So I'm just using a PVC pipe. Again, you can use a broomstick, you can use a cane if you have a cane. It's really something just to assist the other side going up. So again, sometimes you can make this passive, but you really have to relax the arm, and that's what a lot of people have a hard time doing. So I would say maybe this is active assisted, possibly passive if you can do it correctly. So really, I'm just doing all the movement with my good side. So this is what's going on, and I'm just holding on for the ride for the injured side or the surgery side. You can also do this lying down, but I feel like you can relax a little bit more if you're sitting up. So whichever way your therapist or your doctor suggests, or you can try both and see which one's easier for you. So the first one's going to be shoulder flexion again. Now, if you have a little hook on the side like this, I like holding on to the side because then again I can get my thumb in that upward position that opens up the shoulder. But if you don't, that's okay. You can do it this way. Just really try and relax that arm, and then you're bringing it up with the cane or the stick. So I'm really just trying to relax this arm and taking it up for the ride. So again, you might have to lift it just a little bit because it's kind of hard to do if you're not quite sure how to do it, but this is also helping with that range of motion, so it's assisting it. You can also go into abduction. So again, just kind of placing your hand on the side or the tip of the stick, and then you're just going to keep that arm straight and push it up this way. So this one's a little bit easier, I think, to get it a little bit more passively than active assisted, but you're just taking it up as high as you comfortably can. This might just be as high as you can go. You might be able to take it up just a little bit higher, but again, just a nice smooth motion. Or if you want to get that extra stretch at the end range, if this was my end range, then I'd hold it there for about 3 to 5 seconds and then slowly come back down. So make sure it's a smooth and controlled motion. You can also, with your stick or your PVC pipe, do an external rotation. But again, make sure if you've had a surgery that you're cleared to do the external rotation, or you know how much motion you're allowed to have, because sometimes there's a restriction on that. With this one, you want to keep your elbow by your side. So my elbow's never leaving my side. It's staying squeezed in the whole time. Again, I'm holding on to that stick with my thumb in that upward position, and then I'm just going to gently push it out until I feel that stretch. So again, my elbow's not coming away, because then that's no longer shoulder external rotation. That elbow staying close to my side, and then I'm just gently pushing out until I feel that stretch. So again, 10 to 15, or if you want to do that little hold in between, you can take it a little bit lower and get that nice stretch. So the last one is going to be another active assisted range of motion, and it's really just a prayer stretch or a child's pose. And so this is sometimes a whole body stretch, but I really feel like it does a good stretch range of motion for your shoulders as well. So if you don't have any knee issues, you can start on your knees like this, how I am. If you do have a little bit of knee issues, sometimes people like to start this way first and then bring their bottom down. But if you don't, I like then to do the active assisted where I'm sliding it forward. So then I'm just taking my hands and sliding them out as far as I comfortably can, and then holding it. This one I'd hold for maybe a little bit longer because you can relax a little bit better. So maybe like a 10 to 15 second hold, and then come back up. Again, if you want to open up that shoulder, if that's a little painful, you can bring your thumbs up. Then that's not quite a child's pose, but you're still doing that same motion where you're coming down and holding that stretch, getting that active assisted because you're assisted by the floor. Or if you want it a little bit more passively, you leave your hands here in whichever position you want, and then you're bringing your bottom back to get that stretch. So you can see I'm getting a really big shoulder stretch, shoulder range of motion in there. When I start up here, it's maybe at about 90, and then I'm bringing it back to get that nice big stretch. And I can feel that in my shoulder blade area, I can feel it in the shoulder itself, and then all the way through the arm. So if you're holding it for 10 to 15 seconds, maybe do 5 of those. Just kind of judge it on how much pain you're having, how much stiffness you have. Don't push it too hard. You're just going to tension and not to pain. So there you have it. Those were your passive and active assistive range of motion exercises for your shoulder. If you're interested in purchasing the RangeMaster Shoulder Pulley, make sure and click on the link up there. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking down there. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.